Hey, Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is Thursday, November 13th, 2025, and this is the daily check-in. You guys know I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm getting used to this whole new platform. I know I always mention it, and I need to get over it, right? But I'm getting used to it, right? So I'm getting excited about when I do the daily check-in or on air with Russell of Hotels because I'm going to face some new challenges when it comes to this platform. Right today, my phone, my phone camera worked, so it synced today. Remember yesterday I wasn't in sync, so like I could put my hand over the camera. See, that's the camera up there, right? See, normally I'm down here, so you wouldn't see that. But anyway, so now it's in sync, right? So hopefully it stays in sync for the rest of this show, right? Hopefully it's about 30 minutes and it'll give me some mercy. So, okay, give me some grace, okay? Thank you so much. But anyway, the comments are open, so feel free to make comments because it's all about engagement. It's all about, engagement, right? Is that what the word I'm trying to look for? Yeah, engagement. And yeah, I need you guys to chime in, say, hey, what's going on or whatever. Like I said, no matter what platform you're on, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, you should still be able to kind of chime in and make some comments if that's what you so desire. I mean, I so desire that you do it because it's all about engagement. It's another word I'm trying to think of, but I can't think about it. I can't think of it. But yeah, it's all about engagement, and I appreciate the interaction. There you go. Engagement and interaction. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Engagement and interaction, the E and the I. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. So hope you guys are doing well. So this is the daily check-in. I do this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I also do another show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. That live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. That comes on every Tuesday. So that comes on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So that's the only show that has a time frame, right? So like your favorite, like you're watching CSI or one of your shows on TV, right? Where it comes on at a certain time, on every Thursday or whatever. Well, okay. So On Air with Russell of Hotels comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So there you go. So like not New York Undercover. What's the other thing called? Not CSI. Dang, why am I lost? I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, okay, let's just say ESPN comes on, Sports Center comes on at 9 o'clock every day. Okay. 9 o'clock p.m. every day. Okay. This same thing is, On Air with Russell of Hotels. So just make sure you put a note to it. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn or YouTube, please do so. Go to my YouTube channel, Russell of Hotels. Hit that subscribe button. Bing. And anytime I go live, you get a notification. So that's what it's all about. So that's easy, right? So there you go. So anyway, these shows do not have to be that long. It's just that I tend to, like I just went off on a tangent, right? That tends to happen. Okay. So I do have a topic for today. I'm going to save that to last, but I will never do a show. And I always say this, where I don't showcase a hotel, a resort, a destination, something like that, for you to see, because contrary to popular belief, everyone does not know your brand exists, right? And maybe people forget. They may know it exists, but they may forget, like, oh my God, that's right. I love that hotel. I used to go there back in the day. We had meetings there, or, I just went there, just got away from it all, just kind of turned everything off and just kind of was just there being, okay. So anyway, so my job is to showcase as many hotels as I can, because I know someone out there has never heard of it and they may be interested in it. So there you go. There you go. So today's hotel is, what is today's hotel? I don't know. Let's go. Let's under door number 1. Let's do it. Let's see. Oh, Miraval Resort and Spa in Arizona. I love that place. 143 guest rooms, about 1,700 square feet of meeting space. So it's not real big. I want to say 100 people or less for meetings, which is great because I love the grounds that it's on. In fact, I'm gonna move my photo right now, and you'll be able to see it. You won't be able to see me, but you'll see the scenery and all the other things I'm going to show. But you'll still be able to hear me. Okay, so Let me just do that real quick so we can get through these photos and videos. But yeah, so this is Mirabel. This is on the like the walking trail. This is me walking from just walking around, just being and just checking things out, right? So they have a little stream, and I mean it's desert, right? So it has that beautiful desert scenery. I mean, I love that. And I grew up in the desert, right? But I don't know why maybe this desert is different, okay, than the desert I grew up in. But it seems like it's just a lot more scenic and it's just beautiful. And, even though it's desert, I mean, there's colors out there, just unbelievable. And it wasn't too hot. And Tucson is a little higher elevation than like a Phoenix, Arizona. So it's not as hot. I mean, don't get me wrong. It does get hot in Tucson, but it's not as hot as Phoenix. Okay, just because it's the elevation's a little different. It's a little higher than Phoenix would be, and it's about 2.5 hours from Phoenix. So there you go. There you go. But I love it. I love it's a shame you can't hear the sounds. I don't have the sound on, so it'd be nice if you could hear that sound, that water, that the waterfalls. Oh man, I love that. Who doesn't love the sound of running water? Unless it's in your sink, you know what I mean? And no one wants that. Okay, so anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. So, and this is basically the entrance or the front. Yeah, this is where I got dropped off, right? So you get dropped off, you walk through there, past the fountain, go through the door, and there's someone there to greet you, which I thought was just magnificent. And this is one of those places where it's kind of like almost like dare I say this, like a cruise ship where you know how you go on like a Carnival cruise or Norwegian or whatever, and everything is included. When you pay, whatever your rate is, everything is included here at Marival. I didn't realize that because I was there for a tour, a site tour with a client, and I didn't know. I don't think it was ever explained to me, but I guess I kind of figured it out because when you go to like the restaurant and there's like a little coffee bar and they do smoothies as well. And I asked for like, I don't know, a chai, whatever, chai latte, that's my drink. And they said, oh, yeah, I mean, I just got it. I said, well, how much? They said, oh, no, it's included. I'm like, oh, it's included? Oh, I didn't know that. And then I went to the restaurant and the same thing, right? So I'm like, okay, well, this is all right. So yeah, so once whatever your rate is, if that's $300 a night, if that's $100 a night, whatever it is, everything is included. Food, everything is included. I think there's basic spa treatments that may be included as well, but there's some other things that you got to pay for. So and check me on don't take me 100% on the spa treatment because I didn't go to the spa, but I'm thinking, or maybe it was complimentary for us because we were planners. Okay, maybe that's what that was. Okay, so yeah, I think you have to pay for the spa. Okay, you pay for the spa treatments, but everything else, food, drinks, everything is paid for. It's already included in your rate, which I thought is unreal, spectacular. So anyway, so this is one of the guest room. This is actually the guest room that I had. Okay, so overlooks. I had a little patio, desert scenery. You can't beat it. This right here I love this area. You see how green it is? I mean, even the foliage right there and even the grass area was still green. And it was probably it's probably late spring when I was there. So it wasn't hot. It was the weather was probably perfect. It's probably the best it could be for that, the time of year. But once again, 143 guest rooms, 1,700 square feet of meeting space. So for your smaller groups, like a board meeting, I think it would be ideal for those. And it has a lot of outside sitting areas, as you can see right here. You can bring if you're eating snacks or whatever, just come out here and take a look. Read your book out there. It's very peaceful. I would say, well, when I was there were no kids around because you weren't, it was during the week. I'm not saying kids are not allowed there, but I'm saying when I was there were no kids. So it was adult only during the week. Now, I don't know if that's like that all the time, but when I was there, I'm only going to share my experiences. So yeah, it was very cool. Very cool. And this is one of the upgraded rooms. This is of course, this is a double, but it's very, like I said, very nice, very spacious rooms, very comfortable, very comfortable. And who doesn't love that, just that view right there of the mountains. And this is right outside the spa. Okay, this is when you're going into the spa. So we're going into the spa for like a little tour. And I said, that is a picture perfect moment right there. That's an Instagrammable moment. Okay, you can take pictures of people right there in front of that mountain right there, and the foliage and the Palo Verde trees in the back, the palm trees to your left. I mean, and running water. Come on now. But no, Miraval Resort and Spa, Arizona, specifically Tucson, Arizona is the place to be. It's the place to stay, right? And this is another part of the stream or the water features and stuff like that. I happen to be walking by and I said, you know what? This would be a great video. And that's what I did, right? That's what I do. That's what I do. And right here, this is just this is not a moving. I mean, this is a waterfall water feature as well, but of course it's not moving. So this is a still picture. So let me get back here so you can see me. Boom. So yeah, once again, that's the Miraval 143 guest rooms. It's in Tucson, Arizona. I was there maybe about a year and a half ago or so with a client. We ended up not selecting, or my client ended up not selecting the hotel, picked another hotel in Tucson, and I wish she had chosen this one, okay? Because I know the things that happen at that other property, which I will never name again. I'll never even talk about again. They would not have happened. It would not have occurred at the Miraval. I just know for a fact it would not have occurred. Okay. It probably wouldn't have occurred at many hotels. And it's not about, let me just say this real quick. It's things happen in hotels, right? So I need people to understand things will happen. Things don't go 100% to plan, and we wish they would, but that's not reality. Okay. We understand that things do not go 100%, according to the plan, but it's how you handle the situations that happen. That's the difference between someone coming back and saying, what the hell with this place? I'll never come back here again. And I'm a bad mouth as much as I can, right? That's the difference, is how the hotel handled it. And this, I'm not going to go into the situation or the specifics, but the hotel didn't handle a situation right, or the way it should have been. They never called the client. Um, they didn't admit that they were wrong when this situation happened. I got involved because, of course, my client, I wasn't there. I didn't witness all these things, but everyone that everyone that was in the meetings, they witnessed it. And I wish I can tell you what it is, but bottom line, I got corporate involved. Their corporate management, it was a management company, okay? And they didn't do anything either. They didn't even take it serious. I'm like, this is whack. And shame on this management company, which is the largest management company, I want to say in the world, right? Largest hotel management company. It used to be, I won't tell you what it's called now, but it used to be called Interstate Hotels back in the day. Okay. I'll just say that. Anyone who knows hotels and knows management companies knows who I'm speaking of. So, but yeah, it used to be Interstate Hotels, and now it's another name, and they didn't take care of business. I mean, to this date, it hasn't even been taken care of. So, needless to say, my client and I will never refer that hotel again. So, anyway, that's it. But we just talked about Miraval. Miraval, I'm talking about it 100% today, right? I talk it up, right? I love that property. I love my experience there. I just can't wait to take a group there. When I take a group there, believe me, it's going to go well. I know it is. And I'm going to be talking about it. Okay. So there you go. But anyway, but you saw a little bit of it, a glimpse of it. So check out miraval.com and, check it out and see what you think. And maybe you're going to Tucson. I think there's a couple other Miraval properties. I think one in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe one other one somewhere else. I'm not sure, but I'm just familiar with the one in Tucson, Arizona. So, and you can't go wrong with that property. Okay. So there you go. I said it. The topic for today. Okay. Did you guys hear about this? Okay. I heard about it beginning of the week, but I really didn't really pay attention to it because you know how you get these little news flashes or emails come through and it said Sonder and Marriott, uh, Marriott basically dissolves the relationship between them and Sonder. I said, well, I remember this was just last year where They formed this relationship or this partnership, right? Well, something happened. Okay, something went down. Something went down, and it wasn't a good situation, for what I understand. The relationship between Sonder and Marriott is no longer. I mean, it came to an abrupt stop, a halt. Like, no more. That's it. Don't go past go, and don't collect your $200. We're done. So a lot of people may not have heard of this, but it was something that just sends shockwaves through the whole hospitality industry. No, I don't know if it did that, but I don't know if it did that, but it definitely got my attention, right? So, and I'm just gonna read some of the stuff. Um, Today, we're talking about a situation that has shaken up the hospitality industry. The sudden collapse of the partnership between Marriott and Sonder. Now, some people may not even know what Sonder is. That's okay, because I'm going to explain what Sonder is. Sonder, okay. Now, if you're not familiar, Sonder was a hospitality well, I guess it still is, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with Sonder after this point. Okay, after this, thing that has just went down. So, not sure if you're familiar, but Sonder is or was a hospitality company offering apartment style tech enabled units in major cities around the world. Of course, there was one in Los Angeles, right? There's one actually right across from the new SoFi Stadium. Okay, there's one right there, right next to SoFi and right next to the new Intuit. Okay, so there's a Sonder right there. So I'm very familiar with the product because I've been there before. So it's tech fused, tech inspired. It's kind of like, no one's there, right? You have to check in on your own, right? So there may be someone there at the front desk initially, but for the most part, you're using your phone, you're using their app to do everything. So if that's to check in, if that's to ask for certain, amenities, like say maybe you ran out of towels, you need to use your phone for that. The TV, or if there is a TV, everything is app driven. So like say you have Netflix or YouTube, everything is, there's no cable, like a lot of hotels still have cable. Well, Sonder is 100% tech. Okay, you're on your own basically. Okay, uh, parking, you're on your own for the most part. You got to find your parking, especially if it's like a downtown location. But although the one I think in Inglewood here did have parking on property, but I don't think it's owned by the hotel. So if there's issues, you go through the parking company. So you're basically on your own. A lot of people would take Uber or Lyft in, or Waymo or whatever. So it kind of gives you a little um, background on it. They blended hotel style standards with fully furnished apartment living, mobile check-in, digital concierge, and nicely designed spaces. Okay. At one point, they operated over 9,000 units in more than 40 cities. But financial challenges and technology integration issues eventually caught up with them. Okay. So that's some of the issues, right? So what happened between Marriott and Sonder? Now this is all public, right? So it's not like I'm just making this stuff up. I'm just taking the facts and sharing them with you. Okay. I just taking what I read, what I've seen, and I'm just sharing it with you because it was something that I didn't pay attention to on, I think, Monday or Tuesday when it happened. But this morning I was like looking at it because it was an email that I got. And I said, well, maybe this is something I could talk about because I'm always looking for a topic, right? So I'm like, hey, why not this? Why not what happened between Marriott and Sonder? It seemed like a soap opera. Okay. It was like this perfect marriage, a year ago. Then all of a sudden, boom, the split is done. That's it. We're out. I'm like, wow, okay. So anyway, so I'm just reading this. But as of this week, this partnership is over. Marriott has officially severed ties with Sonder due to company defaulting on the agreement. Now, from what I understand, they had a pretty lengthy agreement. I want to say like a 20-year agreement or something like that. Something like that. Here's the tough part. Some guests staying in Sonder units through Marriott were told to vacate mid-stay. So check this out. So this went down either Monday or Tuesday of this week, and people were getting notices and probably emails or text messages saying that, hey, you can no longer stay here. You got to vacate the premises. I don't know if they gave an explanation of what was going on. Based on what I'm reading, it didn't seem like they did. And I don't know if this is the Marriott people or the Sonder people. From what I read from Marriott is that they had anyone that made reservations through their site, through the Marriott Bonvoy site, they contacted them. Now, if you made reservation through Sonder, that was Sonder's responsibility. Okay, so but no one wins in this situation. I mean, it's a screwed up situation. I've never experienced that before, where you lose a hotel or whatever, and you're asked to leave like immediately, like vacate the premises immediately, pack your what, and get the hell out of here. I mean, I don't even know if I can even imagine, how this even went down. But I'm just reading what I said, and I'll read it again. Here's the tough part. Some guests staying in Sonder units through Marriott were told to vacate mid-stay, while others discovered canceled reservations. Not a good look for anyone involved. So yeah. So I said all that. Why did I even talk about this? Well, what can hotels, CVBs, and DMOs learn from this? Because there's always a learning thing, right? There's always an educational piece. Like, okay, what happens? Okay, what happened to this? Oh, I don't know how this relationship started. I don't know if anyone did all their due diligence. I have no idea, because it seems like you cannot, within a year, if you form a partnership and then within a year, this company is in trouble, financial trouble. I guess it depends on who was running the company. I don't know, but sometimes it has to be a check and balance, right? Like, okay, hey, we're partnering with you, but we want, we want to do check-ins with you to make sure that your company is and not in financial straits, right? You guys are everything that you're telling us. You're above board and all that kind of stuff. You're in a great financial situation where we don't have to worry about you. Well, I don't know what happened, and I can't speculate. All I can go off of is what I was just told and what I read to you. And what I got from this is, what can we do as hotels, CVBs, or DMOs to learn from this? Or even, independent company owners, right? Business owners within the hospitality space. What can we do? I guess it doesn't have to be hospitality space. It can be any space, but because I'm in hospitality, that's what I'm gonna talk about. So partnership, number one. So I think I have like 3 points. I always have 3 points because I want to make this as easy to digest. Okay. So what can you do, or what would we learn from this? Number one, partnerships come with risk. When you align your brand with another company, their operational and financial issues become your problem too. Do your due diligence before entering any partnership. So, and I'm pretty sure Marriott did theirs. There's probably something out there, and I'm gonna give Marriott the benefit of the doubt, because guess what? I came up with Marriott. Okay, so I know how they did their business, right? So I knew they wouldn't form a partnership if they didn't know 100% that this company was above board. They were like reputable. Their financial situation was was top notch, was in place, and I just can't believe that it wasn't so, or they didn't do their due diligence. So anyway, number two, guest disruption damages trust. Remember, people were asked to leave, right? People were saying, get out, get your stuff and get out. I don't know if it went down like that, but you got to add some drama to it, right? Guests being displaced or losing reservations can hurt brand confidence. And remember, because people were able to book Sonder through Marriott Bonvoy. Okay, so you think it's one and the same, right? You don't know if you don't think of it as, oh, it's just a partnership. To Joe consumer, to Joe guest, Sally guest, they're just saying Sonder as a Marriott brand. Okay, so I'm going to Marriott Bonvoy. If it's on Marriott Bonvoy's site, it's part of Marriott. That's how people think, right? And that's how they should think. It's a seamless thing. So let me just book this Sonder thing. Okay, this is cool, tech savvy. Okay, I like this. I need a no frills kind of thing, right? I needed, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to just do the mobile check-in, use my phone as the unlocking device for my room. I got Netflix and all that. I got all my codes and passwords. I don't need anything else, right? And I'll do Uber Eats. Okay. There you go. There's a lot of people that are looking for that, right? Digital nomads. You know what a digital nomad is? They look for things like a Sonder. Okay, that's what they look for. So I'm gonna be there for 20 days, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden you get this knock on the door or email or text message saying that you got to get out. Well, I booked this through Marriott, so let me call them, or I booked it through Sonder and whatever, and now this is where we are. So, guests being displaced or losing reservations can hurt brand confidence. So, what confidence do you have when this happens? Especially when loyalty programs like Bonvoy are involved. Remember that? Do I still get my points? That's what I'll be saying. Do I still get my points after all this? In fact, I want more points. Protecting the guest experience must always be priority one. So regardless whose fault it was, because no one's going to get involved in like, well, whose fault is it? If I'm a guest and I've been displaced, I just want you to make it right at this point. If that's via Saunders, if the company's still solvent, or through Marriott because you had partnered with them. Okay. So their problem is my problem at this point, right? So it's kind of like the Godfather, right? Your enemies become my enemies, your problem become my problem. Remember that one? So number three, communication must be immediate and transparent. When something goes wrong, silence will hurt you. Hotels need strong crisis communication plans so guests know what's happening and what their alternatives are. So when this has happened, no one, I mean, people are like panicking. Okay. Like, what do we do? What's going on? So I would assume that people were calling, the people that had people within Marriott and hopefully people within Sonder were calling people saying, hey, this is what's going on. And we're sorry, we apologize, but you got to vacate. There's nothing we can do. We have no control over this situation. So hopefully there was no silence, right? There was like, well, if I don't hear from them, I'm not going to call them. Hopefully it's not one of those situations. And when we're dealing with things, we need to make sure that we get ahead of this situation instead of the situation coming to us, right? We already know there's an issue. Okay. We know there's an issue. We know people are going to be affected by this. We know people are going to be displaced. So us as hoteliers or CVB or whatever business owners, we need to be ahead of this. We need to call these people. We know who these people are because they booked our hotel, right? So we need to, just like, let's just say something totally different, right? But it happens in a hotel. Maybe there's a flood, a major flood, one of the sprinkler heads, damaged a whole floor of rooms. 30 rooms are out of order. And there's no way we can get them done by this weekend. And we know we have a sold out weekend. Well, we know the guests that have already been booked, right? We know the ones have been booked. We don't know. We haven't assigned rooms yet. Okay. But we know people that have been affected. And we know for the most part where these people will be placed, right? So we need to be on the phone calling these people ahead of time, because the last thing you want is for people to check in and then find out that, oh, there was a flood and we can't honor your reservation. No, get on the horn now. Take the first, if it's 30 rooms, take the first 30 reservations or whatever, be selective, of course, give those third party people, OTA people, call them. You got 30 OTA people. Okay, let's get them let's tell them and they need to do something else. I'm just using that as an example. Okay. Not that ever would happen, right? But you would call whoever to let them know this is the situation. We have no rooms available because of what has happened. And then, let them know that, we'll pay for the first night, whatever you need to do. You got to do something to make this thing right. So if there's a hotel across the street, they have availability. We can call and make the reservation for you or whatever, blah, 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 whatever you need to do. But that's a situation where you need to be on top of this. You got to be proactive. You can't react when they call you. Okay. So that's probably one of the things that I've learned during this whole thing. Right. So once again, number three, when something goes wrong, silence will hurt you. Hotels need strong crisis communication plans to guests, so guests know what's happening and what their alternatives are. In closing, so that's what's going on with Marriott and Sonder. Okay, so if you didn't know, now you know. And more importantly, what we can learn from it as hospitality professionals. As always, the goal is to build trust, protect the guest experience, and make sure your brand is aligned with partners who can deliver. Okay. Now, obviously, there are some things that went on with Sonder that didn't come close to measuring up with Marriott standards. Okay. So I'm sure moving forward, whatever issues happen with Sonder are not going to happen with the next partnership that Marriott has, right? So there you go. So always build that trust, protect the guest experience, and make sure your brand is aligned with partners who can deliver. Everybody can't deliver. Okay. Everyone can't deliver. And we found this out today. So once again, check this out. Just all you got to do is Google Sonder and Marriott, and all this information will come up, right? So, like I said, it's not something that I just made up. It's something that I'm delivering to you. I'm speaking on it because it's public knowledge. Okay. So in fact, I never would do that. I would never make up stuff, but of course, I'm going to sensationalize it and throw some drama in back of it because there you go. Why not? Okay, so but anyway, so those are things that happen with Marriott and Saunders. Once again, what can hotels, CVBs, and DMOs learn from this? One, partnerships come with risk. Okay, do your homework, do your due diligence. Number two, guest disruption damages trust. Okay, you don't want to damage trust from your guests, right? Because they'll tell 100 people, and next thing you know, you're running 100% before, and now you're only running 50%. You don't want that. Number three, communication must be immediate and transparent. Don't wait. If you know what's going on, be proactive. Don't just react to the situation, okay? Because you already know it. You're already into it. So just let them know what's going on. So that is it. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys joining me on this daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. Today is Thursday, November 13th. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, tomorrow will be another daily check-in. Remember, I do it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so today's just Thursday, meaning we got one more day to go, and then the weekend, and then you don't have to hear me again until Monday. So anyway, so once again, well, I'm not thanking them, but I guess I can thank them. Thank the Miraval Hotel, Miraval Resort and Spa in Tucson, Arizona. That's the hotel that I showed today. In fact, did I show the waterfall? The water feature that was right in back of me. The waterfall, the water feature. Where's it at? Okay, there it is right there. Okay, I'll just show you real quick. Real quick. Remember that? Oh man, can you just imagine yourself walking across that bridge right there? Or just walking in. This is the entrance, the main entrance. You're just walking through there like, oh, it's just a beautiful day. And you get to your room and you're like, oh my God, this is great. I have a view out here. Or, I'm gonna go outside and kind of like have a drink and just kind of be out here. I got my book with me. Or, oh, I have the kids in this room, so I don't have to worry about them. They're being taken care of. My room is on the other side of the building, so this is good. And I'm on my way to the spa and I see this beautiful view. Oh, I'm going to take this picture and send it to my family. Oh my God, they're going to love this. They're going to wish they were there. And then you're going to say, oh my God, I just happened to walk by this stream. It was just so zen-like. It was just so peaceful. It was just so this and it was so that. So, so there you go. So anyway, that is it. You guys, you guys have a great day. I'm Russell L. Edmond, aka Russell of Hotels. Oh, you know what? I can't leave right now. Hold on one second. So if you have any questions at all, well, if you're gonna follow me, if you don't follow me, please follow me on Instagram, IG, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So at Russell of Hotels on IG and YouTube, and then Russell L. Edmond on LinkedIn. Once again, I'm Russell L. Edmond, aka Russell of Hotels. And let's see what else. Oh, my blog. Okay, so anytime I do a topic, I have not put this one on there, but anytime I have a topic, I will put them on my blog. And the blog is at russellofhotels.com. And all the information is on my website. So my phone number, my email, all that stuff is there. So feel free to reach out if you want to. Leave me messages wherever you like, and I'll make sure I respond to you. I love phone calls, but just make sure you leave a message first, because if your number is not in my phone and your name doesn't pop up, And I'm like, well, who the heck is this? I'm not answering this. So just leave a message and then I'll make sure I call you back. So I promise I'll do that. I promise. So anyway, so that is it. Once again, that was the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. So that's it. Okay, now I'm done. Okay, so you guys have a great day and I will see you tomorrow. As always, peace.